Manchester United will be without European football next season, so let's try and give them a rebuild in a realistic way. And here we are as Ruben Amorim, and we are trying to rebuild Manchester United back into Champions League winners. However, we will try and keep it realistic. And this is how the team is looking without us doing anything, and it's safe to say there will be a lot of changes. However, unfortunately, players like Dorgu, who I do believe will be here for the long term, just will not be good enough to start for us straight away, so we have to look for a left midfielder, although I would have liked to play him. However, due to his rating, he cannot. But yeah, let's just get into the sales and signings, because there are a lot of things to do in this Man United team. I transfer listed a lot of players, which I will go through very soon. However, Kobbie Mainoo, I know he's been linked away from Manchester United in real life. However, I do feel like they should keep him, and they have to do everything to keep the man in the team, because he's a quality, young, exciting player that is one of their own. So in my opinion, it is realistic for Manchester United to keep hold on Mainoo. They just need to find the role for him. So he will stay in this save, even though if it's not possibly the most realistic thing, I do feel like it's kind of realistic to keep him at the club. So yeah, let's just get through everyone I have transfer listed. And these are the players that has been put on the transfer list, and it's a mix of players that have been on loan in real life and players that have been linked away in real life as well. Lindelof simply don't have a future at Man United. Luke Shaw, I just think is way too injury prone, and he hasn't exactly been good when he has played this season either. Tyrell Malacia, yeah, I don't see a future for him either at the club. Anthony is of course on loan in real life and will probably be sold in the summer. Eriksen, we don't need him in the team. We have other central midfielders, and yeah, simply not space for him either, and we will probably leave the club in the summer. I do believe on a free actually. Rashford, he is one of their own. However, he is set to leave the club as well. Sancho, yeah, he's been a flop, so no need to keep him, and he will probably not join Chelsea either way, even though there was some obligation to buy. However, whatever is happening with him, I can't see him stay at the club next season in real life. Garnacho, I think, yeah, I'm a bit unsure about Garnacho. I do think there is a quality player in there. However, he is way too inconsistent, and Chelsea are linked with him in real life, so he probably will move clubs as well. And Højlund, yeah, he simply isn't good enough for Man United. He just looks like an under 15 player without trying to be disrespectful in the senior squad. So yeah, he needs to move to a different league, I think, to get the best out of him. And we have made a lot of sales. Lindelof has gone to West Ham, Garnacho has gone to Nottingham Forest, Malacia has joined Lazio, Eriksen has moved to France and gone to, or Monaco, sorry, they aren't even in France, but the French league at least. Sancho has gone to Tottenham, Anthony has gone to Galatasaray, Luke Shaw has moved to Bournemouth, and Rasmus Højlund has decided to stay in the Premier League and join to Crystal Palace, and Marcus Rashford has gone to Borussia Dortmund. And as we can see, our budget, it is 325 million. However, I can safely say we will use far less from that, because we are of course without European football. This is a realistic rebuild, so we got to keep that in mind. We will only make a couple of signings. And this is how the team is currently looking. You know which attacking midfielder I will sign, because it's basically already signed in real life. I will maybe look to sign a left midfielder as well. Apart from that, I am unsure if I will make more signings in the first season at Man United, as we are without European football. And here is our first signing. It was the most obvious one. It is Matheus Cunha from Wolverhampton for 50 million euros. We've also signed a new left midfielder. Yes, he may not move to Man United in real life, however, it is a realistic move. He has been balling out for Sporting, even though it is in a more attacking role. He will be a bit more defensive, but he has the stats to do so. It is Pedro Gonçalves. And that is actually all the business we will do in the first season here in the realistic Manchester United rebuild. The only two signings were Matheus Cunha, who is definitely joining in real life, and the second one was Pedro Gonçalves, who I do think is a realistic signing for Manchester United. He can play as a left midfielder, as a central midfielder, even as an attacking midfielder, where he has played in real life for Sporting. He of course knows Ruben Amorim's system in and out. He's got stats that proves he can play everywhere as well, with decent defending and physical, considering he is a left midfielder. So our left midfielder is a more offensive one, with Mazraoui being our right midfielder. Ahmad is our attacking midfielder as well as Cunha, because Ahmad, I do believe we need to take advantage of his offensive strengths, which he has shown in real life, so he is a very good player for that. Xerxes will stay up top, simply because I don't feel like we can use any more money than Cunha and Gonçalves. If we qualify for Champions League football or European football, we may look to replace Xerxes next season. However, as we are without European football, we can't go over the budget, which we probably already have done really. However, we sold a lot of players. But yeah, enough about that. Let's get simulated the first season, and hopefully we can qualify for at least, yeah, I would say Europa League, because we are of course without Champions League, so, or we are without any European football, so we only have the Premier League to worry about. Maybe we can even pick up a trophy, and if we can qualify for Champions League, that would just be perfect. And Manchester United are back in the Champions League, and as we can see, the points tally in this Premier League season have been absolutely woeful. We finished third with just 66 points. However, we will absolutely take it. And now that we are back in the Champions League, it will mean that we can sign some good players again that are already established at big clubs. The Community Shield, we were of course part of that, because I of course can't skip that. However, we were not part of any European football, of course. The FA Cup was won by Chelsea, and the Carabao Cup was won by Man City. So we haven't won any trophies. Inter won the Champions League by beating Sporting in the final. So we have gone trophyless. However, we are back in the Champions League, which, yeah, I would actually rather take that than winning a trophy, because the Champions League for Man United right now is very, very important. And let's just take a look at the squad. Xerxes has gone up to 81, which is great to see. Ahmad up to 82. Casemiro has gone down a rating. And we can see Mainu is up to 80, so we can put him in here as of now. And we can also put Lenioro instead of Maguire. So Maguire is now a bench option. But yeah, we have qualified for Champions League, which were ultimately the main goal. I didn't know if it was possible, but it was. And we can see we are also losing 3 players. Tom Heaton are leaving on a free. Johnny Evans is probably retiring. No, he is not. He's still going, but he is leaving on a free. And Tyler Fredrickson will also leave on a free. But a quick look at the stats. Bruno Fernandes, 26 goals, 8 assists. Xerxes, 13 goals, 3 assists. Despite going up 4 ratings, he hasn't scored enough, so we will look to replace Mr. Xerxes in the starting 11, but he can be a good squad option. Gonçalves, just playing 32 games, 12 goals, 7 assists, probably has had an injury. Cunha, 10 goals and 5 assists in his debut season. Casemiro scoring 6 goals. Amad Diallo, 5 goals and 7 assists. And Mazraoui getting 4 assists from the right mid spot. Martinez also getting 3 assists from centre back. Great job. And we can see Casemiro has decided to retire at the end of the season, which is, yeah, not really a shame for us, because we were looking to sell him either way. But that means we cannot now sell him, as he will retire. So instead of selling him, I will actually sell Manuel Ugarte, because he hasn't really lived up to the expectations at Man United. And I do think we need some other qualities in the midfield, as we have Kobe Maino, Bruno Fernandes already. So I want someone else to be like the third option in the middle. And we are going to sign a new goalkeeper as well. As we can see, Bayindir has gone to Crystal Palace for 12 million. And Andre Onana has also left the club. He has gone to Bournemouth for 31.5 million. The third and final sale in the second summer transfer window here at Man United, it is Manuel Ugarte, who has gone to Atletico Madrid for 42.6 million. And let's just get straight into the signings. The first one is our new number 1. It is the World Cup winner Emiliano Martinez, who has joined us from, of course, Aston Villa. We needed a new striker, and we brought in exactly that. He is set for a return to Premier League, and now that Manchester United have Champions League football, I do believe it is a realistic move. It is Ademola Lookman, who has joined us from Atalanta. We've also brought in a new central midfielder, and Manchester United have signed some experienced midfielders in the past, such as Bastian Schweinsteiger. They've signed Casemiro, to name another one. And now, next in line is multiple Bundesliga winner, and I do believe he's won a Champions League as well. It is Leon Goretzka, who has joined us, and in this save he was at Atletico Madrid. And this is currently how the squad is looking going into season number 2 at Man United, with now of course Champions League football. If we didn't qualify for that, we wouldn't be able to sign Ademola Lookman and not Martinez either. Maybe we would have signed Goretzka, I am unsure, but we don't know of course. But Ademola Lookman of course 85 rated, 27 years old, brings experience and is set for a Premier League return. Goretzka, another big name midfielder signed by Man United. He is on the older side, however we of course have Kobe Mainu. Where has he gone now? Where has Mainu gone? There he is. We of course have Kobe Mainu, who is on the younger side, just 20 years old, so he will be the long-term left central midfielder. And we also signed Emiliano Martinez. He has been linked with a move away from Aston Villa. Manchester United are of course a bigger club than Aston Villa, with all due respect, so I wouldn't be surprised if he stays in the Premier League and move to Man United in the future. However, it won't happen this season, I am sure, in real life, as United of course, unfortunately for them, don't have European football. But yeah, let's see where we end in season number 2 at Man United. Maybe we can finally win a trophy, or not finally as it is the second season, but maybe we can win a trophy, and it will be interesting to see how we do in the Champions League. Season number 2 at Man United is done, and we have finished in 6th place. And yeah, not exactly Champions League football against next season, unfortunately, which is a shame. We got 2 more points this season, so we can say we have improved in that regard. However, when we finished 6th compared to 3rd last season, we haven't improved at all. We had Champions League football, so maybe that has been a disadvantage for us this season. The FA Cup, Chelsea won that. Did we win the Carabao Cup? We did not. Liverpool won that, and the Champions League was won by Barcelona, beating Man City. And where did we end in the Champions League? We went out in the playoff round to Inter Milan. So next season we will probably get Europa League, I do believe. So yeah, we have to focus on that, and maybe we can win that this time around. And we can see Amad Diallo is injured, which is a shame because he is one of the players I am the most excited about in the Man United team. And going into the next transfer window, I will probably look to sign, maybe replace De Ligt in the team, as I think that is a realistic move actually, and maybe look for a right midfielder as well. Or if I will do that next season, when we are back in the Champions League, hopefully, we will see. But at least I will look to bring in a new centre-back for Matthijs de Ligt. Matheus Cunha was our top goal scorer, scoring 18 goals and getting 10 assists. Ademola Lookman has scored 18 goals in 36 games, which is alright. Xerxes scored 6 goals in 28, so Pedro Gonçalves, scored 15 goals, I do believe it was from our left midfielder. Bruno Fernandes 8 goals, 11 assists, up to 91 rated. Goretzka scoring 7 goals, getting 4 assists, and Masraoui 3 goals, 1 assist. Apart from that, Mason Mount 2 goals and 4 assists. And now Harry Maguire has decided to retire at the end of the season, so we will only keep him for 1 more year. He is the only one that is going to retire as well. So he will leave at the end of the season, which means we have to look for a new backup centre-back in next summer. And we can see Kobe Mainu has submitted a transfer request, which is a shame. So we have to sell our exciting English midfielder as well. And here we can see Diego Dalot has also submitted a transfer request, but first Kobe Mainu has left us to join Liverpool. Kobe Mainu, mate, I expected better from you. And Diego Dalot also submitted a transfer request, and he has joined Chelsea. We're just giving our rivals our players at this moment in time. Our final sale is of course Matthijs de Ligt, who has also gone to a Premier League rival, and he has joined Aston Villa. It's time to get some more British players into the Man United team, and the first one is Tyler Dibling, who has joined us from Ajax. He can play as the right midfielder and also as the attacking midfielder on the right side. Signing number 2 can play as an attacking midfielder, but his main position is in the central midfield. Is this the Kobe Mainu replacement, Lewis Ferguson? Our third and final signing, he's been linked with Manchester United for a couple of years now in real life. It is Jarrad Branthwaite, who has joined us from Everton. And this is how the team is looking going into season number 3. Hopefully we can qualify back to the Champions League. We of course have new signing Jarrad Branthwaite in the middle of the defense, 24 years old, 82 rated. Lewis Ferguson, 26 years old, 82 rated. And the third signing, Tyler Dibling, who can play as the right midfielder instead of Masraoui if you want to go more offensive, and can also play as an attacking midfielder instead of Ahmad if he needs rotation or is injured. So he is just 20 years old and 79 rated. That's season number 3 done, and hopefully we are back in the Champions League. And yes, we almost won the title, just 5 points behind league or rivals Man City. So our highest point tally by far, which is great to see. Did we finally win any trophies though? Bournemouth won the FA Cup, the League Cup was won by Man City, Champions League was won by Man City as well, so they won a treble. But did we win the Europa League? We did not. Where did we go out? Because I'm sure we were in the Europa League. Or we were in the Conference League. Maybe? We were in the Conference League. We went out in the playoffs. No, in the league phase. We went out of the Conference League in the league phase. That is actually insane that we didn't even get to the knockout stages. Well, but at least we are back in the Champions League by getting second in the Premier League. And Brentwaite is now injured. And we can see the squad is starting to look very good. Bruno Fernandes up to 92. The growth has been very good. But now that we are a Champions League club again, I think we can go for 1 if not 2 huge signings. But we will just find out if we can or should replace any of the players in the squad. I think I will at least look for a maybe new right midfielder instead of Mazraoui. Let's just take a quick look at the stats. Cunha, 30 goals and 12 assists. Fantastic from him. Lookman scoring 16 goals, which isn't ideal. Gonçalves getting 29 goal contributions from left mid, which is fantastic. Fernandes, 21 goal contributions. Ferguson, 11 goals. Yoro scoring 4 from the centre back position. So all in all, a very solid season as we finished second in the league. However, I do believe it's time to win some trophies. The only sale we are making going into season number 4, it is Leon Goretzka has left us and joined Tottenham Hotspur. And Leon Goretzka's replacement, it is the English midfielder Conor Gallagher, who has joined us from Atletico Madrid for a lot of money, 85 million euros. And because Harry Maguire retired, we needed a new centre-back option from the bench as well. And it is Premier League proven Calvin Bassey, who has joined us for 28 million euros. And the player we have signed now is the final signing of the summer. It is our new right midfielder Cuenda. He hasn't joined Chelsea in this save. We signed him from Everton, so we signed 2 players from Everton. But as Cuenda was at a weaker team in the league, I think it was realistic to sign him, as he has moved to Chelsea in real life, yes, but in this save he joined Everton instead. And Tyler Dribbling will be developed into an attacking midfielder, as we now of course have Mazraoui, and Cuenda will be the right midfield depth. So this is how the Man United team is looking going into season number 4. It's time to win some trophies, and if we want to keep Bruno Fernandes as the captain, we don't have too much time to do so, as he is 32 years old, so he will start to go down in ratings this season, I do believe. But our new signing Cuenda, 20 years old, 82 rated. We also improved the central midfield spot with signing Conor Gallagher, 27 years old, 86 rated. So we now have Gallagher, Bruno Fernandes, and of course Lewis Ferguson, who will share those minutes in the midfield. And we also signed Calvin Bassey to be the centre back option, as well as Mazraoui can play there. And we of course got Martinez, Brentwaite and Yoro. But let's see if we finally can win some trophies, maybe even the Champions League. We have a quality starting 11 and some decent depth as well, so I don't see why it is impossible, but let's at least win some silverware. And it's another second place here at Manchester United. This time we were just 3 points behind Man City, who has won the title with 86 points once again. However, how we finally won a trophy, the FA Cup. Yes, we have won that. We have won our first piece of silverware, beating Middlesbrough in the final. The Carabao Cup was won by Liverpool and the Champions League was won by PSG. And how far did we come out this time? We went out in the round of 16. So last season it was the playoff, now it was the round of 16. Hopefully next year we are in the final and can finally win the biggest trophy in footballing world for clubs. But looking at the team, we've seen some very good growth. Fernandes is still at 92, which is fantastic. The defense is looking solid. Pedro Gonçalves, 89. Lookman up to 89. Cuenda has just gone up 1 rating, so I assume Mazraoui has been the starting right midfielder. And let's take a quick look at the stats. Emiliano Martinez, 35 years old now, so he is getting on the older side. Bruno Fernandes, 22 goals and 10 assists. Lookman, 19 goals, 2 assists. Cunha, 18 and 7. Gonçalves, 15 and 6. And Lewis Ferguson having a good season, scoring 15 goals and getting 8 assists. So Gallagher has only got 4 goal contributions. Quenda has played like around half of the possible games, getting 5 goal contributions. Ahmad isn't playing a lot either, so I guess maybe Lewis Ferguson has played as an attacking midfielder, or maybe Ahmad has had another injury-driven season. And it was finally time to part ways with Mason Mount. He has moved back to London and has joined Fulham for 22.5 million euros. And with the Mason Mount sale, it means we have space for a new attacking midfielder, and it's none other than Xavi Simons, who has joined us from RB Leipzig. So this is how the team is looking going into, is it season number 5 or season number 6? I am a bit unsure, but the team is looking very good. Everyone are above the rating of 85 apart from Quenda. We have of course Masraoui on the bench, and Ahmad can also play as a right midfielder. So we have good cover there. Xerxes 87 on the bench, Ferguson 86, Dibbling 82. So the depth is quality. The starting 11 is absolute fantastic. So now let's maybe go for the double, the Premier League and Champions League. Come on. And this almost seems too rigged, as we are finally in the Champions League and our opponents are Tottenham, who Manchester United of course lost to in the Europa League final a few days ago, and I can't actually believe it is Tottenham we are up against. Let's see our journey to the final. We won the league phase, and in the round of 16 we won against RB Leipzig, who we of course signed Xavi Simons from. We then knocked out Atletico Madrid, who we've signed Conor Gallagher from a couple of years ago. In the semi-finals we beat Bayern Munich 5-2 on aggregate, and we are now in the final against Tottenham Hotspur. Did we win the Premier League? Did we get the double? Can we get the double? We can. We have finally won the Premier League as well. So it is in 2029. Everything is happening for Man United. The Community Shield, however, we lost to Man City. The FA Cup we won. So we are on course on a treble, which is absolutely insane. So yeah, let's beat Tottenham in the final. And just look at Cunha, he has been insane for us. 30 goals, 16 assists. Bruno Fernandes still at the rating of 92, 22 goals and 8 assists. I still have no idea how he hasn't leveled down. In 1 week he goes down to 91. Lookman has scored 21 goals, getting 2 assists. Gonçalves 30 goal contributions in 63 games. Xavi Simons having an alright season. Wouldn't mind if he scored more, but we have basically won everything, so I'm happy with him. Ferguson 7 goals, 2 assists, and yeah, apart from that, Ahmad is playing lesser and lesser every season, which isn't really that surprising, as we of course signed Mr. Xavi Simons. And our team, however, is looking absolutely insane. Emiliano Martinez in at 89 rating, Yoro 87, Branthwaite 86, Lisandro Martinez 87, Pedro Gonçalves on the left midfield 91, Conor Gallagher 88, Bruno Fernandes still here and still the captain, 92 rated despite being 34 years old, Quenda 85 rated, Xavi Simons 91, Mateus Cunha 91, and Ademola Lookman 91, and we have some quality players on the bench as well. Calvin Bassey 84, Dorgu 77, Ahmad 85, Masraoui 84, Dibbling 83, Xerxes 87, Vitek 77, and Lewis Ferguson 86. We also have Obi, who is an interesting player in real life, and the same goes for Collier, Heaven and Amas as well. But yeah, let's beat Tottenham Hotspur and get the proper revenge in the Champions League final. And we can go straight up to attack against Tottenham. Xavi Simons to Mateus Cunha to Conor Gallagher, tries to find Pedro Gonçalves. He shoots, he hits the post, but he was offside, and I feel like we messed up that attack so badly. I should have just tried the shot with Conor Gallagher instead of looking for the pass. Salomon are looking to find Brian Brobby, but Emiliano Martinez with a crucial save early on in the game. Ribeiro, great pass to Kulusevski. Dejan Kulusevski is stopped by Jared Branthwaite. Rico Lewis to Dejan Kulusevski. Kulusevski shoots and Kulusevski scores, and Tottenham have taken the lead due to Dejan Kulusevski. And that is far from ideal. Can we score straight away? Cunha looks for Ademola Lookman. Lookman shoots. Mainan saves. Tottenham once again on the attack, and they are looking to add a second goal here. Kulusevski to Brian Brobby. Lenny Yoros blocks it, and that could be crucial as we are still down with 1 goal. Quenda. Xavi Simons with the overlap. Can we have anyone available in the middle? No, so Xavi Simons goes himself. He looks for Cunha, he can't find him, but Bruno Fernandes wins it. Conor Gallagher, Ademola Lookman, Lookman shoots, and Lookman scores, and Man United are back in the final. Kulusevski, he shoots, and Emiliano Martinez with a crucial save late on in the Champions League final. Xavi Simons, what can you do? Our number 7 looks for Conor Gallagher. The pass is absolutely horrible. We still got it. Bruno Fernandes gives the ball away, but he wins it. Cuenda. Come on, Bruno, go on the... I would have liked Bruno Fernandes to go on the run, but Bruno Fernandes with some skills. He still keeps it. Mateus Cunha. Cunha shoots and he scores. And in the 91st minute, Bruno Fernandes finds Mateus Cunha, and he has given Manchester United the Champions League, and it's the perfect revenge on Tottenham Hotspur. And here we have the trophy list as Bruno Fernandes lifts Man United's Champions League trophy. We have finally done it. It took us a lot of season, but Man United are Champions League winners in this realistic rebuild. I tried to keep it realistic at least. Let me know if I could have done something else. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys next time.